Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Justin with the Away in the Wilderness channel. Thanks for joining me today. As you can see in the title, what I want to do today is go over this haversack. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you may have come across the previous haversack video that I did with this exact haversack. I'll leave a link in the description box below if you want to go check out that video. But this kit has changed a little bit, and really, a lot of my kits do that. They'll change from time to time, obviously, season to season, things like that. But I'm always trying to really hone in a kit and get it a lot more lightweight. And with the weather being summertime, I think today it's in the low 80s in my area. Um, Really dialing a kit like this in to be a little bit more lightweight is always a good idea, but also you still want to have the implements in here to be able to help in an emergency situation. So I'm going to open up the haversack. I'll bring you guys a little bit closer so you can see kind of how this kit has evolved. Give me just a second and I'll get the camera set up. All right, so as you can see, guys, this is the same Pathfinder oilskin haversack as the previous video. Really simple haversack. Just has the flap over the top, has the pocket here on the flap, and then just one bucket style pack. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and take out the snacks that I brought with me today. Just brought a couple freeze dried apples, a little bit of beef jerky, and I think I have something else in here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. I knew I brought three of them in, and then just a chewy granola bar. My wife and I are out today with our youngest child, so she was carrying him on her back, and she has her bag. But this is generally, especially lately, the pack that I've been taking with me a lot. So you can see how much room is left in here because I've really dialed this kit in to carry what I need, but also to leave room for snacks and things like that. And I'll tell you right off the bat, I weighed this before we came out here. All together with the full 32-ounce titanium water bottle, it weighed right at 5.5 pounds. So 5.5 pounds for the haversack. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and lift this up just a little bit so we can get a better camera angle. There we go. All right, I think that's a little better. So there are not very many uh, items, like loose items, in here because what I've done is I've added all of the loose things into a ditty bag. This is just an REI ditty bag that I got quite a while ago, and I just picked this one out because because the color. I like the color, and it goes along with the other colors of the bag. So I have the ditty bag, which I will open up this here in just a minute. So we have the ditty bag, have a Mora Companion HD in the black, and I have filed this down the spine to a 90-degree angle so that it can strike a ferro rod. Sure, a lot of you guys are familiar with that. On the back, I have just a sail needle with duct tape, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that as well. So that's my knife. And in the previous video, you'll see that I had a whole 100-foot roll of number 36 bank line. These made it a little bit more convenient, and they fit a little bit better when I put them into these longer hanks so they can just stand up like that. And it got rid of the weight of the little tube that the bank line was wrapped around. Obviously, not a lot of weight, but saved a little bit of weight on that. So I have those. The T60 emergency shelter, which I recently did a video on. I'll leave a link in the description box below to that if you want to see how to set this up in a couple different configurations. I go over the specs of it and all of that, but this is the emergency shelter that I keep in this haversack. One Wind ultralight ground mat works really well in here and hardly weighs anything at all. And the only other thing that's sitting in the haversack loose is my titanium bottle and nesting cup set. That is absolutely everything that is sitting in the haversack. So let me go ahead and get this out of the way real fast. So obviously with the metal container, you'll be able to boil water, things like that. And I always fill this up before I leave. Like I said, today I'm out with my wife and our little man, and so we did about 3 miles just now, and we're back at kind of a little campsite area with a fire pit over here behind me, just kind of hanging out. She's actually right over here. Actually, she's changing his diaper right now. But so this obviously is kind of my shelter situation. Cordage, cutting tool. But let me go ahead and jump in to the contents of this ditty bag. This is really the major change. I had a lot of things kind of just sitting loose in the haversack, and this really has been working out well for me. And if you compare this video to the last video, you'll be able to tell a big difference, and you can definitely feel a big difference in the weight. So when you open up the ditty bag, right off the bat, on the top is just a small LL Bean headlamp. I added this little Curad first aid, uh, just a little travel first aid kit. Really lightweight. It's really just a boo-boo kit. And I have added some ibuprofen, a couple allergy pills, and things like that. And then I also have some Tums in there because from time to time I get a little bit of heartburn. So that's in there. The lid to my nesting cup. One small hank of number 36 bank line, just kind of as a utility cord. So let's set that over there by that. Mini Infernos from Self-Reliance Outfitters, just as an emergency fire starter. These things are phenomenal. Take a spark from anything, basically. I have some Yuko, small Yuko stormproof matches. Bic lighter with some Gorilla Tape and some waxed hemp, I believe is what it is. Bic lighter, always nice to have on you. And I recently added this. This actually has a strand. This paracord, if you see that red strand, is also an emergency fire tinder, as kind of the lanyard. And this is the Exotac uh, Nano Strike, I believe it is. So basically, all it is it has a little striker here on the backside. Maybe I'll do a video going over this. I actually just picked this up, so, and just a small little ferro rod, and these are actually replaceable. So 3 ways to start a fire right there, and then you'll see as I dip into this zippered pouch back here in the back, I also have one more way to start a fire. Yuko spork. These are always really convenient to have. I kept an additional striker in here, a bigger one, just if I wanted to get kind of more of uh, a better purchase on this, because that striker is a little small. So I kept this in here. Doesn't really weigh anything. And that is it in the main compartment. I will jump into the zippered pocket here in just a second. But on the last video where I showed how to set up the T60, uh, I stated that I keep my groundhog tent stakes in here. So I have 3 of the mini groundhog tent stakes inside of this orange bandana, and it's a really big bandana, so it could be used for signaling as a waypoint marker, anything like that. So it's nice, and obviously to wipe your head, whatever you needed to do, they're always nice to have. And in this mini Inferno case, if you absolutely had to, this could become a char tin, and you could make char cloth with that. So you could see kind of the versatility of the kit. Now in here in the zippered pouch in the back, here is the last way of fire making that I mentioned, and these weigh hardly anything at all. And all it is a Fresnel lens for solar ignition, basically a small little plastic magnifying glass. So those are always nice to just toss in a kit. Mylar space blanket would assist in regulating your body's core temperature if you had to, would reflect heat from a fire. You could wrap it around yourself in an emergency to help trap your body heat. So I always keep one of those in here. Electrolytes and some coffee. This is just kind of a standard pack that I always keep in here. If we're hiking, if I needed some electrolytes, being especially as it's summertime, it's always nice to have some electrolytes with you. These are if you had to go to the bathroom in the woods, basically. So all these are some compressed little towelettes. Just add a little bit of water to them, and they expand, and it's basically like a wet wipe. So you could wipe yourself down with it, use the restroom, but the going to the bathroom is really why I have these in here specifically. In this one here, this is actually I take back my statement that I made earlier. This is actually uh, my medicine kit. This is where I keep my pills and things like that. And also, I have one Catadine water purification tabs in there. So that's in there. You know what? I may have to get rid of one of these because I think I actually put some pills in there as well. So one of these are probably going just to save some more weight. So last thing, well, let me see. I think that's the last thing. Yep. Yep. You see that's completely empty. And the last thing is obviously for the headlamp, you're going to need some AAA batteries, which is what that one takes. So to go along with the headlamp, I have I believe there's 6 AAA batteries in here because this takes 3. So I always keep a spare in there. But that is the entirety of the kit, guys. I'm going to get it laid out for you, kind of like I always do, so you can see what I have in this emergency Haversack kit. 5.5 pounds, guys. That is not a lot of weight, and you can see the versatility of the kit. So before I go, guys, I wanted to kind of just address something, and I'm sure a lot of people have probably addressed this in the past. And I recognize on the internet, you're going to have a lot of just trolls, people who come on your channel, come on your videos, and will just kind of, you know, shoot off at the mouth or whatever. But I also think that there is a segment of people who will make a comment and they are probably not really thinking through what they're saying or what they're asking. But I want to make it perfectly clear because it's just something that has been on my mind. And you'll kind of get these very far-fetched comments sometimes, like, "What about this? What about this situation or that situation?" I want to make it very clear that in my area, which is how you should always set up your kit, is dependent on your area. Right now in my area, it's 85 degrees. At night, it's probably in the 60s the majority of the time. So I'm not going to need a wool blanket. I'm not going to need really any sleeping bag at all. I could make it through a night very easily with what I have here. It may not be the most comfortable night, but I'm not sure that any emergency type situation is going to be very comfortable anyway. But I would not take this kit on a 20-mile hike in the middle of wintertime when it's 0 degrees outside. It's not going to happen. The kit is going to change. I'm going to probably have a completely different kit. And that sort of weather, I'm probably going to always have a backpack. And there were some people who commented talking about, well, what if there's no trees? Because obviously you're going to need trees for this kit to be set up. You're going to need something to set it up on. In my area, there are trees everywhere. I can't imagine that I'm ever going to be in a situation where there is no trees around. So let me make this very clear. If you are in an area where there aren't going to be any trees, your shelter should probably reflect that. Always set your kit up to where it is suitable for your area. So I just wanted to address that because I don't want anybody to get the idea that I'm saying this is the kit that you should take with you everywhere. Not the case. My kits change from season to season, although I do think in my area, for the most part, this would suffice for 3 seasons. Maybe in the fall, I would add another layer of some kind of an insulative layer or something like that. But I'm always going to be dressed appropriately as well. So in my area, for what I'm doing, and I've yet to land myself in an emergency situation anyhow. Obviously, avoiding that altogether is the goal. And Lord willing, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to be in a situation like that. But if I am in my area, the weather that I'm dealing with, I feel like this is sufficient for me. It may be different for you, and I can completely understand that. And I totally appreciate a difference of opinion. But anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much about it, but for the comments that come in where it's like, what about this situation, that situation? What if this happens? What if that happens? I'm going to be honest with you. Some of these far fetched ideas, if you find yourself in that situation and you've messed up that many times in a row to find yourself in this crazy scenario, then it's probably just your time to go meet your maker. And I'll just leave it at that. But hopefully, that never happens to you and that never happens to me. But in your area, make sure your kit always reflects your area and the weather conditions that you're going to find yourself in. But aside from that, guys, I hope that you go check out those videos that I have left links to in the description box. I greatly appreciate all the views, all the support. And until next time, guys, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. God bless. Guys, have a great day.